coming to today's GIC talk. My name is Hyun, the host of today's GIC talk. Before we get started, please turn off your cell phone or put it on silent mode. Thank you. Safety is important. Safety in our lives and workplaces is especially important because we face so much danger so often in our lives. Today's topic is safety in our lives and workplaces. And the speaker, Mr. Kang Hyun, will share about how to promote this culture in our workplaces. If you have any questions during this talk, please write them down on your small sheet of paper when you arrive or given. One of our GIC talk volunteers will collect it from you during the Q&A portion, which is led by one of our English-speaking GIC talk volunteers. Now, without any further hesitation, please welcome Mr. Kang with a big round of applause. Good afternoon, folks. Today's kind of a heavy topic, I guess. So, very little bit tough, I guess. Before start, my talk, I just prepare some stuff for all of you guys. Or you can open it up, or just open this and go back. I just put this paste and brush. And on the top of the tissue, you can see about the message in Korean. Some of you probably don't understand what it is, but it is about the importance of safety. Okay, today's topic is safety and health in our lives and workplaces. I'm Kang Hyun from Korea Occupational Safety and Health Agency.
The Korea Occupational Safety and Health Agency is a convention creating safe and happy workplaces for the nation happiness. KOSHA was established in 1987 to protect the lives and health of workers. The history of safety and health in Korea has evolved together with KOSHA. KOSHA conducts major ISO prevention activities, such as fires and explosions, risk assessment and timely technical assistance, improvement of work environment and health care for workers, and financial support through loans and subsidies. In line with this, KOSHA also manages projects related to safety and health education and promotion, development and supply of media contents, safety and health R&D, and international cooperation. KOSHA strives in establishing a workplace-centered and people-centered culture of safety and health. When KOSHA first started, occupational accidents rate was at 2.66%. The rate is now under 1%, and yet KOSHA is not satisfied with the results. KOSHA makes constant efforts to realize a zero accident rate. KOSHA shares all its joys and sorrows with the citizens of this country. KOSHA builds safety-based happiness in Korea so that workers can work in safety and health. A safe and happy workplace, making people happy amidst an affluent society. KOSHA dawns a new era of safety-based happiness. Korea Occupational Safety and Health Agency.
This is about my company, Korea Occupational Safety and Health Agency, and I'm Hyun Kang. Actually, I was raised in Ganju City. I love
And I major in business administration from National University, and I studied a master's degree in Iowa State University as a management information system. And I currently working for OSHA since 2003. So that's about myself. And I'm gonna present my talks from extent in this country, and I'm gonna mention about set culture, and I'm gonna introduce about occupational accents in Korea, and mention about the importance of set as well, and also introduce protective equipment, and I'm gonna I'm gonna conclude my presentation. Does anybody heard about a marula tree in South Africa? Maybe not. Marula. Yeah. Yeah, that's a tree which has contains alcohol, and there's so many animals eat them, and then suddenly they drunk, indulging in the sweet fruits. Yeah, loud laughing is kind of a competitiveness and the key to success in our life. And you can live 2 more days with the 15 seconds of laughing. And it's one of the big weapon to stress and depression in your life. So that's why I prepared some video clips. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, because safety is kind of really heavy stuff, so hard to deal with easily. So I want to mention about accident in this nation from several decades. Here we call accident recovery. Kind of shameful. I mean, it's kind of in the middle of a stage from developed country to developed country. So you see, some of your, Korean people probably experience, know this accident in this nation, but probably a young generation do not understand. Yeah, so many happens. You cannot imagine that. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna briefly mention about accidents. ED station in 1977, there is a fire in the train carrying explosives, resulting in 1,200 people. You know, imagine that? Next one. There's one train derailed from the rail, having 78 deaths and 196 injuries in 1993 in Busan. You heard about a Sewol, right? Sewol. We had a same exact experiences a long time ago, 1993, but we did again last year. You know, they exceeded the maximum number of people and low, having 292 deaths and 70 injuries. Can you believe it? It was happening in Busan, West Sea of Korea. And the collapse of the Song's Bridge, probably older generations probably remember exactly what happened in 1994. I remember, early in the morning I watched TV and so many people crying, especially the young generations, middle school and high school students, they are dying. Like more than 90% of 49 deaths were high and middle school students who were inside the bus in 1994. I was a freshman at the university. I know exactly what happened. In 1994 in Daegu, and there's a big explosion of a gas pipeline due to subway construction, resulting in over 100 deaths and 200 injuries. This was kind of shocking, In 1995 in Seoul, over 20 years ago, 30, maybe. Yeah. The reason is frequent illegal changes of plans. So that is why we had 502 people die. Can you believe it? This was shock because I have two sons. 23 children died in 1999 in that resort. Some teachers, they lock the door and go somewhere. The fire happened inside a resort. Children cannot go outside and they cry, oh, please open the door. Or die, except 3 injuries. And last year, university student from Busan area went to resort. They workshop for some department, and 10 people died because of a poor construction in those areas. I'm really, shameful, to discuss about this accident in our Korean history. Seoul, probably majority of you know already. Jindo, you're right. Third part of Korea, having 304 people died, and mostly high school student from Ansan city. I was in Busan last year because my company headquarters located in Busan, east side of Korea. But I was shocked, really shocked. So now I want to deal with the safety culture. What is a safety culture? Any ideas? I want to compare safety culture versus law and execution with the chicken and egg. Which one is first? How do you think about it? Any ideas? I personally prefer law and execution for developing countries, not for like advanced countries. But I don't know. It's up to you think about whether which one is first. Yeah. I spent 4 years overseas, Japan and Canada and America, but I want to deal with my experiences in America because I spent 2 years there with my family. Actually, my second son, my third person, right here. He was at the preschool some years ago. Actually, my coach also offered me to study there. So I was so surprised because at the preschool, teachers train students to permit safety into their minds. As you see this picture, student got the paper using, it's kind of a safe culture. Put the culture inside the plane. Every stop signs at the playground. I was so impressed. Here, when you go to America and for Koreans, you're probably shocked. When you, it's illegal to pass by for a stop bus with red light flashing. Otherwise, you gotta fine like $20 or $2,000. But in Korea, none yet. One of my friends who worked in the private institute, he talked about the law will be implemented in this year, but I don't know how can be settled. How long it will take? This is my experience. Actually, I traveled a lot when I was in America. I drove every state, and I speed over 65 miles. And the policeman, somebody followed me. I looked at the rear mirror, and the policeman came after me and stopped me. And finally, he noticed. Tried to give me a fine for overspeeding, but I didn't use the booster for my son. And oh, you got fined. So I asked him, how much should I pay for it? But you should ask for court. So I called to court, and I supposed to get a fine $150 for not using booster in America. But that in Korea, only 30,000 won, like $30, right? But persons do not. They are not restrictive. You probably, majority of you know this program. Anybody know this program? 비정상회담.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 years ago, I saw this program from JPDC, and they deal with a topic about something about, is it abnormal when observing laws? I mean, somebody wrote a letter, and how do you think about it? Do you feel we are going behind when you observing laws, or is abnormal to think that way? It's up to you. Yeah, it's about. I was really surprised because majority of participants from all the world. I mean, some from America, Canada, or Western Europe, but 5 persons agree with about the idea that I fear go behind when I observe laws. You know, see that this number 5.
인천 강화도 해수욕장 인근에 있는 캠핑.
Sorry, I prepared some Korean news, so I'm gonna deal with a little bit.
인천 강화도 해수욕장 인근에 있는 캠핑장에서 불이 나 어린이 3명을 포함해 모두 5명이 숨졌습니다. 새벽 시간 텐트에서 잠을 자던 중 화재가 발생해 피해가 컸습니다. 정보인 기자의 보도입니다.
야심한 휴일 새벽 인천 강화도 동막해수욕장 인근 캠핑장의 한 텐트에서 불길이 치솟았습니다. 초록꽃 같은 불꽃이 반짝하고 일어난 지 불과 1분여 16제곱미터 5평 남짓한 텐트 내부는 완전히 잿더미로 변했습니다. 이 불로 텐트에서 잠을 자던 37살 이모 씨와
At the end of this year, there is a fire inside a tent due to an electric cat. It should be not allowed to use electric cat inside tent. You see that? I read a newspaper several months ago and I scrapped. You see, camping equipment is the level of Mount Everest in Korea. Meanwhile, safety and attitude is at a hill level. It's kind of funny. I mean, you know, when you go for a mountain, you see a lot of people wearing a mountain clothes. I mean, if you are like wearing jeans, you probably kind of feel out of place. Specialist Mr. Hong Gil, he went to Mount Everest several times as a Korean. He mentioned about mountaineer never use heating inside tent, even under -40. It's common sense. I bumped into this story about this elevator. You probably see anybody who don't know about this elevator? Yeah, everyone know, right? I bumped into this story that Alicia Otis, introduced a safety system. You see this gear is kind of basic concept of his system. Actually, he tried to persuade people, oh, I invented a safety system. Oh, please believe me. But nobody believes him. So in a sudden, he actually brought, whole stuff into the place where people enjoying party, Las Vegas, 1853, and he brought the axe and the cutter, elevator. So many people were shocked. Oh, what is doing right here? But elevator doesn't go down anymore. It's kind of a safety concept. So as a result, most people become to realize, oh, there's like an awesome idea for a safety system. So the reason why I brought here, this picture is that safety is the same like a concept in our lives. If you do not experience, you do not believe. Right? Here, I want to give you a quote. Don't want to safety by accident. Right? That is why we educate them, train them in the workplaces, in the classroom, or everywhere. We put a lot of posters, leaflets, books, because we do not experience accidents. We do not learn safety by accident. I want to deal with the occupational accidents, where I'm specialized in. here, number of injuries and number of fatalities I wrote. You know, in terms of number of injuries, it's different concept among nations according to ILO. But according to ILO, the number of fatalities is same, almost same. You see, how many people die per year? 1,850 people. You see, a lot of accidents in our history. In Sewol Ferry, 302 people died, right? But here, 1,850 people died last year. In terms of businesses, construction site has the highest level of fatalities, followed by manufacturing industry. I brought fatalities by nationality. You know, 85 people died last year. I mean, majority are from China and Southeast Asia because they're working for Korea, like a construction site or manufacturing site. Like, it consists of almost 7% of fatalities. So why safety is important? Why do you think? Let us think about accidents, car accidents. In 2007, 6 people died out of 50 million. Meanwhile, you know, last year 1,850 people died out of 1.2 million workers in Korea. In other means, 5 people die every day, and 294 people injured every day. You know, currently, right now, some people are dying in the working places. How about economic losses? You know, in terms of economic losses, the size of economy by occupational accidents is about $1.6 billion. Can you imagine that? And there are a lot of losses in the company, and the declining productivity damages in company immediately, and decline in sales as well. And when I see the characteristic of accidents, we Hosha noticed that 70% of accidents happened in places where has less than 50 workers. And workers who are working less than 1 year are 60%, and Mondays and Fridays are frequently occurred. And 2 hours later, after going to work, are the frequent hours. I brought some pictures about safety or let us think. I just go through the pictures. You see that? I don't know whether you are doing or not. Here. He's not going. You see a small car going down the sea, and then what happened? Here. If this car, I mean, red car, should have been there, I mean, before the middle car, right? How about this? Oh, please. So, what do you think about why do accidents happen? According to a survey or studies, about 70% of accidents are due to unsafe behavior. You know what is unsafe behavior? It's kind of a consciousness toward safety in your minds, in your company, in your family. You see, there are 2 types of things that occurred accident. Right side is unsafe conditions. Left side is unsafe behaviors. So unsafe conditions is kind of a hard stuff to get rid of. I mean, inner study. But in terms of unsafe behavior, we can get over. by training, by educating, by promoting safety. There's one lion. He's really, hungry. How can you do that? Is a solution? How about this? It's dangerous? Dangerous, right? How about this? It's okay? So right. Okay, let's think. How about this? How can you, feed him? Right on. Doesn't know how to feed him, right? But here, this guy knows exactly what the meaning of a safe, what the meaning of keeping the lion away from man, right? So knowledge and experience is so important in our lives. But actually, to be honest, I do not want to experience accidents. I prefer knowledge. I brought some pictures of protective equipment. Here, you probably see a lot of pictures in the street. They do not wear the safe helmet. Sometimes happens like this way in the workplaces. There are several kinds of safety helmet. You can choose depending on where you work. Safety belt is mandatory in the places where you work over 2 meters. It's mandatory in Korea. Safety shoes. I prepared some discussing stuff. So anybody who are really not comfortable with the blood, or just close your eyes, please. Yeah, it happened a long time ago. So, do you think protective equipment is enough? That's all? Think once more, right?
피해자는 안전품을 추락했을 때 안전문을 올바로 썼는지 대충 썼는지에 따라 얼마나 결과가 다른지 직접 실험해봤습니다. 먼저 안전문을 제대로 쓴 마네킹.
Who did you ask me? Oh, it's okay.
Just answer.
Yeah. Nowadays, Koreans are really bad at welding, right? I'm supposed to buy pants for my kids, so they are really bad at sleeping outside. So there's a little bit like a built-in tent. Inside a built-in tent, there's an electric path. It's kind of illegal. The owner, those areas are not permitted by government, but they do illegally. So they put the electric path on the ground of the tent, and there are 2 families sleep inside the tent, and they are burned sudden, late night because of electricity, right? So that is why I prepared the newspaper by mentioning, even mountainers do not sleep, do not use electricity inside the tent even under -40, right?
And okay, so I heard that you have been living in different countries for 4 years. And could you compare the difference in the safety culture of USA, Canada compared to Korea? So this day.
Yeah. I spent 1 year in Canada and then 1 year in Japan and 2 years in America, and I travel a lot in Moscow, Germany, or Asia countries. When I compare the safety issues with Korea, Western countries have a very long history.
당신을 아는 가족의 소개입니다.
In the video, the little girl sing a song. I mean, actually, my wife already sing a song for this guy, my son. But that, actually, to be honest, that song is so sad. I lastly I brought a safety quotes. Safety is not an intellectual exercise to give us the work. It is.
상처 없이 깨끗한 모습. 그렇다면 안전물을 대충 말기면 어떨까요? 아래로 떨어지는 순간 안전모가 벗겨지더니 무방비 상태로 시멘트 바닥에 머리를 부딪히고 말았습니다. 이것만의 케이스를 확인해보니 어깨부터 머리까지 쪼개져버린 모습. 정말 충격적입니다. 한눈에 알 수 있는 확인한 채 안전모의 중요성 말이 필요 없습니다.
Yeah, apologies for preparing Korean. Yeah, how important it is. So I want to conclude my talks today. If accident happens, what happened in our lives? What happened in our family and workplaces? First of all, you are not here in this world. How about your wife, children, and relatives, and economic loss? So many hard things are happening. So I categorize it into three sections in terms of safety. First of all, occupational accidents and disaster, like catastrophe or natural disasters, and traffic accidents. 63% of those accidents due to lack of safe consciousness. Otherwise, you can prevent 63% of accidents. Safe. How can you do? Not by brain, but by acting, but by repeating habit from now on. As you hear my talks today, right? So I want to give you a question about safety as a part of life, or just have to follow due to law. How do you think? Yeah, it's very important. How self-control or like by control? Literally change the name of Korea.
그런데 산업재해로 인한 하루 평균 사망자 7명. 오늘도 산업 현장에서는 사고가 끊이지 않고 있는데 안전 일터를 만들기 위해 산업안전공단과 함께하는 넘버원 특별기획.
I want to emphasize it's a matter of life and death. Thank you.